Fade out. Got it this time. What is going on, Panhandle? It is Friday night, 7:30. Y'all know what that means. It is time for the Panhandle Fishing Report. I'm your host, Mike Smith, Smitty of Smitty Surf Fishing, and with me always is my co-host.
What's up, everybody? It is Demo from Finding Demo's Surf Fishing Podcast. Welcome to the weekend. We've got a lot to talk about, and you're going to hear a whole lot of Mike and I flapping our jibs tonight, and it's going to be good. But the weather report tonight,
not looking good. Roll Tide. Tony, what's going on, buddy?
What happened to the tide? We only have one a day.
Boom. JC, what's going on, buddy? Welcome.
And there are the thumbs in the green room right there.
Thumb down, going in the green room. It's going to be a good show tonight. Brian and I are going to do some talking, bring in some fishing reports, and then if y'all have seen the post that went out, we have a special guest with us tonight.
Oh, talk about it. Talk about it.
I'm taking a drink of this deliciousness right here. So our buddy Bruce, who watches the show, came down and did a trip with me, and he brought me this bottle of Old Forge Distillery Moonshine apple pie flavor. It is dangerously good. Dangerously good.
And we've
been
half of the show this evening.
Yep. As soon as I took a sip of it earlier, Brian's like, "Well, it's been good talking with you." It's all good. All good. Man.
See, I love that you do that. I'm over here sucking water.
Yeah, well, I probably should. That'd probably be healthier.
Healthy's overrated. It's a state of mind.
That is true. Facebook user, what is going on? Who are y'all? It only pops up as Facebook user. Mike going to crawl out. Nah, it would be good.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, a bunch of them are on my personal page.
Oh, is it?
The majority of people talking are from my page, I think. I'm going to have to take that off. I don't know why it's doing that.
Figure out why it does that.
I'll do that in the background. All right, so as we're just jaw-jacking here, I'm sorry, because that's what Mike and I do. We know that's why you guys really come to the show. You just want to listen to Mike and I because
absolutely
we're entertaining.
We try to be.
We do try to be.
We try. This week's show is brought to you by Jigs. That's right. Use code PFR to get 10% discount at checkout. And if you were following, you know who we're talking to tonight. That's right. Captain LJ of GI Jigs will be with us here shortly, along with Captain Mark Holtz and Kayla and everybody else who's in the green room back there. Watching them. Having a good time. Mark Burford, what's going on, buddy?
No, Nathan, no. Nothing good comes from hot liquor. That's like an instant plumbing to the brain.
Well, I was telling Brian earlier, this would be really good with like some vanilla ice cream or maybe some vanilla flavored coffee. Definitely be good. Jimmy, enjoyed fishing with you on October 17th. Yes, sir.
Time's right there. So if you're on Brian Demo's page, you probably want to move over to like the Panhandle Fishing Report because we can't see who you are. For some reason, my settings are jacked up, probably because I'm trying to be invisible to the world.
Invisible to the world. There you go.
What do we got here? So we got those there. As usual, don't forget to share this out. Somebody's going to enjoy it, whether it's tonight or another time. You guys know we always try to share some bit of knowledge that's going to help you out in the surf or in the inshore or the offshore game. That is one of the biggest pushes we have here, not on top. Also with the reporting, but we want you to get something else out of this to help you out. And it's the really, really big push there. We've also got another guest that's going to be on with us tonight, which is really good that we're talking about the rodeo of fishing, which is closing up this weekend.
Yeah, last weekend. I'm actually bringing it up just so we can see the results and where we're at. Let's do. Should we go daily or let's do overall?
Well, I don't know. Hey, guy, what do you want? What do you want? I'm looking at you in the green room. You want the big picture? And I showed the little one.
Is that what he said?
No, he wants the big one.
The weekly. I mean, the overall.
Nope. Don't know who that is. I don't know where you're watching from. That's so strange.
All right, let's pull this up here. That 108-pound amberjack is still holding. That thing's a beast, man. I don't think anybody's going to beat that.
I mean, 108 pounds on an AJ, it's kind of, could you just take a picture of it and call it good, call it in? Like that one should have seen 200.
And second place, 96 pounds. Third place, 91. I mean, those are some huge amberjack. King mackerel, dude. The king mackerel bite on the pier this last 2 days has been unreal. They have been killing it out there on Okaloosa Pier. But 36 pounds, that's not bad.
No, the Okaloosa Pier has seemed to have been quite productive this year.
Yeah, it's there's a lot. Well, Navarre's been pretty productive too.
Navarre has, yes, absolutely.
There's been a lot of good stuff brought in, especially redfish right now off Navarre and Pensacola piers. Not as many kings as being reported as out there. And whoa, what we got here?
What do you want us to scroll down to? Show me your hand.
Second place Mingo snapper brought in, looks like yesterday, maybe. Our buddy Lonnie on 30A light tackle with Captain Mark Coates.
Huh.
Nice, guys.
I know that guy.
Mm-hmm. We're on the 25 and under division now. And let's see, another first place grouper, Captain Mark Coates. First place in tuna, Captain Mark Coates on 30A light tackle. Man, crushing it right now.
What are you doing every day? What do you do? I mean, seriously, dude, what do you do for a living? Is that all you do is fish? God. Feeling too attacked.
How many? See, I'm looking at this. I can't see this and the screen and the report over there, so we'll stop that.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm just yeah, I see it, Mark.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Man. Nah, it's so we talked last weekend. We knew this week was going to be big, a big week for fishing. Tonight, the afternoon bite has turned on in the surf. This prefrontal, because we got this storm coming through, has got everything agitated. We had a good week of trips. A lot of whiting are being caught right now. One report of 56 whiting was caught out there, out in Navarre. Sharks have been roaming. We did pretty good last night on sharks. And then pompano are starting to come in. We're getting a lot of little ones, but the bigger ones aren't far behind, I don't think, anyway. What say you, Brian? What are you thinking?
Well, besides, I'm looking at Wendy and getting pissed off.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Well, I think this weather, I think the front's really doing some work, not to mention with the surf churn up. I think that's great because you can throw it short and get it into the whitewash. You're going to be catching on everything, whether it's going to be poppies, whiting, reds. You're going to be stacking it up on the surf side like that. And with the agitation, it's definitely a nice time. And if you're on the inshore, you've got the wind whipping around. Now's the time to hide behind points, get back on that leeward side, throw those, whether it's a minnow or jerkbait, paddle tail, something in the water to get that motion, but really playing smart on that one because the water temperature was kind of a shocker. But now I think with that front's going to get them all stirred up. The bad part is you don't have a ton of time this weekend for it. So I think this week's going to give us a little bit more action.
Yeah, I agree. Everything inshore wise is going to be. Speaking of inshore, let's bring up our buddy Captain Bill Lipscomb of E6 Inshore Fishing Adventure has been on it. He sent us a bunch of pictures to show out today.
Yes, we can, JC.
Let's see here. Window, no, Chrome tab. Facebook. Boom. There we are. Redfish bite has been on, and the speckled trout bite has been pretty good as well.
Deerfield. What up, buddy?
Bill and them getting clients out there on fish. Sheephead is another one that has turned on, and we'll get to that in the scroll. But the sheephead bite has turned on as well in the last couple of weeks. That is a big old sail cat. Holy crap. Yeah.
I can't see the dorsal.
Looks like it, or is it a hardhead?
Can't tell.
Well, it looks more like a hardhead.
Macho.
It's just that size. You're looking like you would automatically go calf top, but that was a hardhead. Which aren't bad eating, by the way, if you catch one big enough.
I'd eat it.
Yeah, that's
much so.
There we go. Look at all. I mean, just tearing up the redfish. Old Captain Bill. Putting his clients on him, man. Yeah, he had a good week of fishing. That's what we were saying last weekend. We knew this was going to be a good week. Inshore, offshore, as well as as well as the surf. And the surf bite, man, I tell you, has really jumped on. Deerfield, what's going on, fellas? Bun always has a good
rough offshore today. I can imagine that wind was doing a little bit of movement. The wave action looked a little funky when I was driving across one of the bridges today. So if it's bad on our side, I can only imagine it's double when you're out.
Mm-hmm.
So all right. Dustin, East Coast. Good evening to you. They're crushing it over there, but they're also having the worst tides right now. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Kids can fish.
What is going on?
Hey Tom.
I can't wait till next year. We're gonna go over and fish that one.
Sweet, dude.
That looked like so much fun you guys were having over there. So we want to go and contribute and support such an awesome cause.
Do you want to do weather and then the question?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's
you got yours, I got mine. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. So again, one of these days we'll have an engineer that can jump back and forth between all these things.
Well, you got that one. I got the other. I got the Banners brand.
So we don't have to. There we go. Close that out. All right. So like Brian and I were talking tonight, not looking too bad, but tomorrow, isolated thunderstorms, winds east-southeast at 13, which are never any good. Sunday, thunderstorms. I think it's like 90% chance, 86% chance. Yeah. Winds out of the south at 11. So if you're dodging storms, maybe okay. Monday's not looking too bad. West at 8. Tuesday again, not too bad. Wednesday, not too bad. Actually, the rest of the week doesn't look bad. It's just a Saturday, Sunday, weekend. And Monday.
Just the weekend that screws everything up.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Monday is your Halloween, so you got the kiddos. You're prepared for that.
Halloween. Good stuff.
Yeah. It's dad tax time.
Yeah, exactly. I need my Reese cups.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rest of the week's looking pretty good. Lows in the mid 50s, high 80s. Should be another good week. Get through the weekend. Of course, that's when everybody wants to go fish because you don't have to work. But then you get into the week, unless you're retired, like a couple of us, we can just fish whenever, which is nice. Makes it nice.
All I could hear from that was all I saw was Caddyshack, which is nice.
Yes, which is nice.
I got that going for me. Okay. Right now, here we are, Friday, 8 p.m. I want you to take a look at a couple things before I do this. Now, again, Brian is not a weatherman, and I suck at weather forecasting, but I go with what I have. We got a big old little circle thing here that is borderline nipple-ish, also known as Hamilton, which is Bermuda. And then Tejas has got another vortex of sucking the life out of the world because, that's what Texas does because it's giant. All right, now I feel better. Okay, so 9 knots right now, rocking in that, but here comes the wind, and this is where it gets crappy. As you notice the direction, think about these vortexes getting pulled, guys. This is where it really starts to get metal meets the road. 7 a.m., 19 knots, 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12, 3, 17 and 18 knots coming out and hitting you in the face. Not gonna be a good time. Sunday concentrates heavier into the right into the friggin', of course it goes there.
Yeah.
Right into the nipples there. And then it cools off perfectly into the evening. The wind dies off. So we get a lot of stuff that really gets better there. Monday, still nice and easy. So this weekend is going to suck for wind. I'm just telling you now, it's going to suck. Windy, like you guys have heard me. I trust it because it's been pretty accurate. Wave action, for those of y'all that are getting out on the water, as I always tell you, look at the ripples because that tells you a lot about the wind. Going out on the boat, you know with the wind, so you know it's going to suck. But with the wind or waves catching up into 3 and the close 4. Ugh. 4 ain't bad, but the period of a 5-second split, that's going to make it for a little bit less fun. And then if you're crawling into the inshore here, 2-footers this 2-footers inside never is a good time there. So 1 foot into Sunday. So Sunday gets a little bit better, but remember what the wind was doing? You're getting a little bit of shelter and cut away from the shore here that's covering you up. So be prepared for any of that. That stuff's right there is going to be the crappy. Come on, get back there. And I just started using this feature more. The old rain and thunder. Kind of a new feature. I guess it's been around. I don't know. It sucks for me. So Saturday, come midday, there you go. Into the evening, lightning, thunder, all that stuff. So if you're going to fish in the morning, you're probably going to be okay as far as rain goes. But come Sunday morning, it's going to suck.
Yeah.
So be ready for that. Not the greatest of forecasts, but, it just is what it is.
That's a lot better than like Futurecast on like the Weather Channel app, where you watch the future radar and then it gets to a certain point that everything just kind of disappears.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, it's going to clear up, but then it just keeps pushing an hour. I like that windy little setup there. I'm going to have to start using that more.
It's a handy little app.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the good ones. And it seems to be one of the more accurate apps as well.
All right. So for so we got for everybody that's watching and on the future cast here for people that are watching after this.
Yep.
Question of the week is, how do you fish with wind? Well, get down.
That's kind of a tough one. So somebody said, "Well, you don't."
I go to the salt strong mentality. I hate to say that, but I mean, in the surf, it kind of sucks. That's for me. I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, if it's tailwind, north wind, love those. I'm gonna send that friggin' bait way as far as I can, especially with the jigs. Especially with the guest tonight jigs. That's what I used that last time I caught that Spanish. I cast that thing way far. Wicked
far.
And then got it out there. But east to west winds for us, man, you got to offset aim at 45 degrees and friggin' huck that thing and hope it lands on target. You're doing some Kentucky windage. So I'm not a huge fan of that with the wind. So if I'm inshore, I'm hiding behind a point. I'm trying to get that leeward side.
Yeah, so it really plays on what I end up doing, whether I end up going to the surf or that's what I was waiting to.
That's so good.
It depends. Yeah, so if we got a strong east-west wind, then I probably won't hit the surf. I'll probably go inshore. Because there's a lot more protected areas where you can get calmer water and get a good bite. North-south, that one also depends. If it's a strong north wind, I honestly don't like fishing those days on the beach.
Really?
A strong north wind and it's blown flat and there's no,
that's why.
you know what I mean? There's no surf. There's nothing getting stirred up. There's nothing moving. It does make for a tough day of surf fishing, I have found. Not that you won't catch fish on those days, but it does make it a lot tougher. Now, 3 days ago, I don't know, one day this week it was like that. And we did get them on a pretty good whiting bite, but it was up close, just over where the waves were kind of rolling and crashing to the shore. But, I mean, and I do like it for shark nights because it's easier to run the boat out that way and drop baits on a good north wind.
And come on, go ahead. Sorry.
No. South wind churns it up and gets them chewing. Yeah, it does. When it's coming at you.
When it's surfing.
Green room.
Sorry. What are you doing? Stop it. You're distracting me. You guys know I have ADD.
So we see what's going on in the green room for those that are waiting to come on. And Mark and LJ are back there clowning around. And Brian both with our ADD kicking around. We're like, what? Getting distracted. Squirrels.
It's my fault that we'll never be on ESPN.
One day, man. One day we'll be there.
All right, we're going to do this show on OnlyFans.
Luckily, I'm fishing inshore Sunday morning. Yeah, so there you go. That's playing the wind. See what's going on. So the 4-ounce Sputniks, I use that for everything.
Yeah. What about all you listeners? Drop it in the comments too. What are you doing with wind? How are you planning on, how do you fight it? That's a great point right there. Kind of adjusting some stuff. The yakking with Jack. How are you, sir? Catching them fishies.
Yeah. Congrats, Jack, on 30,000 followers too.
Congratulations, Jack.
That's
30,000 people.
Yeah.
Sheer stuff. That's creepy, but awesome.
Yeah. And watch your videos, which I don't doubt why they watch them, because you're dropping some good knowledge out there for everybody, especially between the sharks and the inshore stuff, offshore. I mean, you kind of hitting it all, man. So keep it up. Great job.
Oh, bearded Brad. The bearded Brad.
Tonight I'm drinking something from your neck of the woods, Tennessee, Old Forge Distillery's apple pie moonshine. There you go. One of my clients came down, Bruce, fished with me and gave me the bottle, and it's dangerously delicious.
Hey, is Cheyenne or Mike on? I can't see who's on, but Cheyenne, if you're on, drop a comment because I have a question, and it relates to your booze. So.
Oh yeah.
I have an idea.
Nice. I'm sure she could probably mix something up.
That's
Pretty
what
tasty.
my brain is. I'm like, hey, what would you do with apple pie moonshine and a flaky fish?
Oh, I don't know if those two mix very well.
Mixed with bluefish. Bluefish has got a strong flavor, at least.
Yeah.
You need something with.
Hey, there it is, Bruce. Thank you, sir.
Hey, Bruce, how you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah, it is delicious. Thank you. Hit the PCB.
That's fine. I'll drive. Like I can drink it all with you guys. I'll drive. I unfortunately don't drink.
I enjoy some Crown.
I have failed myself in my lack of drinking days.
It's all good. You just become older and more wizened.
Yeah, I just hate heartburn. It's just yes.
Yeah. The hangovers hurt more too.
So. Oh, dude, everything hurts more. It's like you hit 30 and it's like, okay, this kind of sucks. You hit 40 and you're like, this is stupid.
Yeah, why am I doing this? This is dumb.
I can walk to where I fish. You
nice.
guy.
Good deal.
Other than that, I did not get out this week. I'm still kind of off on my game. Last weekend I did a bunch of honeydews, so I earned a lot of points. I was hoping to get out this weekend. This weekend it was actually supposed to be Abby and I were supposed to be down in New Smyrna to go fish a tournament that got canceled, and I'm really glad I did now after seeing what their weather is. That would have sucked. But I didn't get out. I watched a bunch of people, was following a lot of cool stuff, and watched the bite there. And I know you got out though.
Yeah, we got out a couple days this week, and it was, like I said, a lot of whiting, a lot of small pompano, a lot of keeper pompano, and then the sharks were chewing as well.
Yeah. Jack, so get out this morning?
Always good. And a lot of folks have been getting out kayaks recently with that north wind that came in. Getting out doing kayak fishing, and then sheep head fishing is what's been killing it right now on the shore.
Brad, are you still on? What have you been catching lately? I know I've been watching your videos, but you're gonna go out Sunday. Ooh, well, yeah, I get that. The weather's gonna be a little bit better. Post front bite might be good, and plus we got the dark moon, so right now it's gonna be nice for nighttime. If you want to get out there for the darkness, it's gonna be good fishing.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of darkness and fishing,
hello, my dark best friend.
We had a pretty good meteor show last night when we were out there on the beach. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. And not like your normal showers, This we almost chalked it up to like space debris because it came in white hot and kind of like white, blue, green, and then gone. So whatever it was coming in quick and fast. And yeah, it was pretty cool. That's what Jack said too. Aliens, man.
I love your kid.
Aliens. But yeah, it happened like 4 or 5 times when we were watching it. So at first I thought it was a flare because it was what I thought was a kayaker out in front of us, probably maybe a mile or so, which is why I sent that text to the group because I thought maybe it was Dylan out there fishing. And then it came in really close, like it was coming in. And then all of a sudden, it just kind of disappeared after about an hour or so. Yeah, it could be Russia coming over. We could go that route, but we're not going to turn it political because we could start talking about all sorts of stuff that could get some tempers.
Abort!
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Oh. Gosh. All right. So we've been talking on there, and let's get into the fun stuff. So, as we're back on script here, hey, get the arm out of the screen, Kayla.
No,
can't concentrate.
They're doing shots. What are they doing back there, man?
Looks like it. We got weather. All right.
I think we're on track.
We are. It's yours to launch, sir.
All right, folks. So here we go. We're bringing up our special guest tonight, who's down here fishing with the guy that's introduced us to the brand GI Jigs.
We're both doing it.
Welcome to the show, Captain Mark Holtz and Captain LJ. What's going on, folks?
I'm so glad to be here. I love you guys.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's we've been going back and forth with with LJ since about April, I guess it was. And
I mean, but the thing is, you guys are so popular in my area, in Maryland. Like,
yeah,
I called you. I said, this is silly. Like, y'all got that PFR code or whatever it is, and then like I'm gonna say like 3-4 to 1. You guys are nailing guys in Maryland, and they're listening. And then I got my friends. Hey, LJ, do you know anybody in Destin, Florida that runs charter trips? And I'm like, yeah.
there you go.
And like, I'm not even a popular person up there. I don't think I am.
Come on now.
Yeah. Okay. Don't believe
I don't
that.
feel like I am. But you guys, I listen.
As a fisherman and a guy, like I still call my friends. I'm like, hey guys, guess who's coming down? Jigs. Like I get to go fishing with LJ for a couple of days. Like you're cooler than you think you are.
I'm
kind
not
of a big
cool.
deal.
I
Not a big deal.
He's a
She is.
celebrity.
Come here, girl.
You are
She is
celebrity.
cool. I'm not cool. I love you guys.
I think that's the first time we've seen Kayla on the show. Actually,
You know,
in there.
I can't always get on your podcast when like I'm on Eastern time and when you actually launch it. But believe me, I'm always on your stuff. I can't come down here and fish very much. And
Appreciate it.
I just love what goes on down here. And what Mark, how did I get here?
So guys, it's the rodeo. Like, I mean, you guys have talked
Yeah.
about it tonight. Like, it's a cool thing.
Yeah.
And if there's ever a time to fish with
Year.
October's the best.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things that, like, when you and I started talking years ago,
Yeah.
I was kind of
We
like,
did,
hey,
yeah.
one time I want you to come fish the rodeo. Like, it's, and you guys know, like,
Yeah.
as good as anybody,
Yeah.
every species of fish is firing off in October. Like, October's the best month to fish here. In my opinion, like I think it's perfect.
I haven't been here before in
No,
October.
you fished here in February,
April.
and April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, you need to fish in October one time, and especially fish the rodeo. And this whole thing kind of came together at the 11th hour. And Lonnie was like, you know what? I'm driving down.
You called me on Monday. It was like dinner, and I said, I'm fishing tomorrow morning at 10:30. And the bite is on for stripers in the Chesapeake Bay. Like, it's Donkey Kong. And Mark called me up and I said, I'm supposed to take my buddy fishing tomorrow. And then Saturday, I'm going to be taking my sister out. And then Mark said,
it's the
I'm
rodeo.
coming.
Yeah.
So I called them up and they said, we understand. And now I'm gone. And I'm here.
Nice. Well, we're glad you came down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, I love being here. This area is phenomenal. I mean,
It's such a great fishery down here.
Mark, yesterday we had 3. Like, you have to describe it. I don't know what was going on with
The bite yesterday, I think you
we
weighed
had a
in.
great day.
You tied for first place with Mingo Snapper.
Oh yeah, that's what we went after. Like, if you can imagine going after Mingo,
Yeah.
like that was our target. Like
That was your target species heading out.
we wanted a Mingo. Like, who goes fishing for a Mingo? Like, I don't know. Mark, and that's me. When I'm in the bay, I'm gonna fish for a gag grouper. Who catches a gag grouper in Chesapeake Bay?
Well, what about the
Me.
That's true.
The whole point of the trip yesterday was to try to maybe catch a big Mingo, because I've won the Mingo division the last 2 years. I think we won first and second both years. And I was like, I know where Mingos live. Let's just catch a couple Mingos. And on the way out, I think we ran into a random floating buoy.
Yeah, it was like, what the hell is this doing
And
here?
immediately
fish.
started throwing Lonnie's famous jigs to try to catch. How many do you think we could have caught?
Oh man, like, you know what? I'm one of those people that I only want to catch what I can eat for my family. You know
There
what
you
I'm saying?
Yeah.
We cut it off at 5, but we could have slaughtered some mahi. I mean, we were on the mother load. And
Nice.
we could have easily caught 24, 30 of those mahi. And they were nice mahi.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, okay, they're not bulls, but
Right.
they were great eaters.
Still good eating.
Yeah.
And we
You know?
did. And that's what we ate for dinner last night.
Oh, they were
Nice.
delicious. They were delicious. And you know what? So what we did when we hit there was like, what else can we catch them on? And we're just like cutting off lures and throwing different lures, and and they only wanted live bait.
And that's the funny thing, because like sometimes they only want jigs. Like we've gone out times before and we throw out live bait and they only want to eat jigs. But the cool part about fishing with like us, like was going out there and figuring out what it was. Like a lot of guys get stuck in that mindset of I have to kill every one of these things. But we were kind of, I looked at you at one point. And I was like,
I'm like, this is cool, but I want to catch one different.
I was like, how many of these do we need? And he was like, I told him, I was like, 4. We'll keep 4, and that's it. Mainly because I don't want to fill in.
And look, if
somebody's got to clean them when you get back to the dock.
If somebody wants to feed their family, I have no problem. Don't get me wrong. Don't think I'm casting anything on anyone else, but that's just what we did.
So like it was like, what can we catch them on? So like Lonnie ties knots faster than anybody I've ever seen.
I'm throwing Z-Man paddle tails 5-inch. I'm throwing different colored like rain minnows and things like that.
And that's where we started bringing out all these things.
So that's what, so we want to talk about those because, well, let's get into it first. Let's go. So the rain minnow is what everybody down here knows about, and knows GI jigs from.
Yeah, they know the rain minnows.
Can you tell us about how that kind of came about? How you came up with that rain minnow jig?
It's a good story.
God. Dude. I don't want to draw this out, but basically, I was in the Army for 26 years, active duty.
Thank you for your service.
I was a musician, there you go. Not special forces, but special bandsman. And we're very detailed there because I was in the old guard.
Okay.
Like if you can imagine being a tomb guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, that's my unit. And detail is everything. And so I'm out there. I'm coming out at the end of my career in the Army, and I am like I'm going on the internet and I'm trying to find jigs that can do what I want to do. And I'm out there with a file, I'm trimming off the keepers and things. And like, this stuff is stupid. And I finally found somebody in New Jersey that would make me a mold out of a blank. And I never expected, I never intended, did not want to sell jig heads. That was not anything in my wheelhouse. And so what I did was I got my captain's license, went out, started guiding trips into Chesapeake Beach, out of Chesapeake Beach in Chesapeake Bay. And then, so I would look, all these captains, they're all like anchored up and they're catching spot to live line. And then they run out to the area where the rockfish were. And then I was just passing that stuff up. So what I did was I had my own jig head now. And so what I did, I ran out of the beach, past all those guys, dropping anchor, catching their live bait, went out there before they got there, caught our rockfish, caught our limit, and then we went back in, and then we caught all of those spot, which were delicious.
Delicious eating.
And then they had so much fish, like it kind of got silly. And then my friend said, hey, I need a 1.5 ounce. I need a 3/4. I need a 1/2 ounce. And it just kind of went that way. But I got to say, like, if you just went to one direction with the GI jig, all right, I don't care if you're fishing a rain minnow, I don't care if you're fishing a jig head, from GI jigs, our jig heads hold up. So they're no more expensive than anyone else. And if you let that thing bang that jig head on the deck of your boat, nobody cares.
Yeah.
It ain't chipped up. The eye's still there, and you're going to keep fishing it. Like Mark has these old ones that I know he's had for a couple of years, and they're beat the crap. But it is the way it is. And all of our stuff, like the jig heads, so the largest, I'm going to put a plug in for Cast Industries.
Yeah.
So all you guys out there that want to go make your own jig heads, go to Cast Industries. They are the largest jig head manufacturing plant in the United States, and they will produce your stuff. But Jim, he owns the company, and he said, I can't paint them the way you want them to paint. And I said, man, I was really hoping you guys could.
Yeah, I could do it all once.
Turn over product. And GI Jigs, I don't care if you have a rain minnow or a 3/16 ounce jig head, we made it by hand individually, put it in a package, and sent it out to you.
Your family.
Nice.
We are family.
Yeah.
Like my family, my grandkids, my daughter-in-law, my son.
There you go.
It is a family business, and there's a lot of, and no one else is going to put that UV enhancement on those baits like we do. They can't.
How hard was it to get some of those paint patterns to give that, like the glow, for instance?
Oh, dude, let me tell you about the paint patterns. So when I came out, all right, I started, like, I didn't want to sell them, right? And then like, that's a pain in the butt. And then when I did it, so what happened is that, aren't your colors upside down? And I looked at them like, these are guys that own tackle shops, and they are experienced fishermen. And I said, not to me, it isn't. And I'm like, and then, don't you want to turn it around?
The dark on the bottom and the light on top, as opposed to the other way around.
No, because that's not going to work for me. And I said, look, I'm after contrast. I'm not matching colors on my plastic. I want the contrast. And on top of it, I want that UV enhancement. And it, like, you guys down here with, like, this bait you guys are on. You're sleeping on a monster. I mean, who was it, Connor today?
Yeah.
Dude, that is a great guy. And I told him, I said, God, that blabbermouth, I went over to Bay Baits today. I bought you one, didn't I?
That popping cork.
Yeah.
Blabbermouth popping cork. And I told him, I said, yeah, what are you guys going after? And like, he's going after some bulls and stuff like that. And I said, hey, you heard of this blabbermouth? You know, like popping cork? And I said, look, where I come from, we only get them for a couple of months. Like, you guys got them a lot longer down here than I do.
Yeah,
up in the bay.
The bull reds,
The bulls.
How long have you been fishing, like the Chesapeake Bay? You've been running the guide service
up
there for
20 years or so.
20 years plus, yeah.
That's the coolest part for me, is to have.
I'm bringing something down to you guys over here,
and not just like designing and making a jig head, and obviously the rain minnow. Like, you guys know how I feel about that thing, but the experience and the angling ability of guiding on a different body of water for 20 years, how it translates to our bay, where you get somebody like this on the bay, where I can learn a decade of how to fish a popping cork in 1 hour. And that's a huge advantage of taking some of these charter guys, especially people who are, and I think, and I don't mean to talk for you.
We come from the same area, Mark.
Yeah, and I spent a lot of time up there, and that's how I met him. But I think it's one of the big things for me, and like I said, I don't mean to speak for you, is I think you invented and hand carved the rain minnow.
Oh, I did,
to fill a problem that you didn't know was a problem.
Right? No, so what I did was when I had my guide license. So the rain minnow, if you want to know the history of the rain minnow, which is kind of crazy, I took. You ever heard of like something called Sculpey, Super Sculpey? It's a clay. So like people that make clay models and things, they like a human or whatever, I don't know. But I took the Super Sculpey, and then I was like making things, and I would bake it and make it hard. And then I took plaster of Paris and I made my own molds. And then like I was making these jig heads, and it was going off like crazy. And I said, why am I not making my rain minnow? Because it was such a good lure. And then next thing you know, I'm like, hey guys, Cast Industries, can you help me out? And they said, yep. And then next thing you know, we worked with it for a couple of months. And then I called my lawyers and I said, hey, can we get a patent on this? And they said, yeah, I think we can. We sent it through, got a patent on it. Like,
nice.
What?
So what makes so what made you because it's different than your normal like casting jig, right? The normal casting jig that are out there are more treble hook based. I think what makes yours not only the only thing, but the other thing that makes yours pretty cool is that it has the long shank J hook. With that Mylar teaser on there. So what made you go that route?
Yes, sir. That's intentional because it has a single hook. Because when I'm running my charters, oh my gosh, I can't imagine a treble hook in one of those jigs when I hand a rod to a child or a mom or a dad, and then they can cast it out there. And you know what? Like I took out Travis Long, you know what? Schooled up charters up in the bay. And I said, he goes, hey, are you sure this is going to keep these bluefish on?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. He goes, he was all questioning me. I said, what are you talking about? And he casted it out, and the bluefish starts tailing and all that stuff. And he brings it in. I'm like, oh my God, it stayed in. I said, Travis, you know, this is not my first rodeo.
I see what you did there. I see what you did.
But I mean, like, seriously, those single hooks, those hooks that I'm using in those jigs are those Shagnesses, and they got the big eyelet on the hook eyelet, and it's intentional. It gives it extra action, and they hold the fish, and they'll get it right in the corner of their mouth, and they're not coming off. Not the Spanish mackerel, none of those boys. Like when you get them, you button them up, you got them.
I think we did a trip last February. I think we caught 17 species on that jig.
Yeah.
I think it was 17 in one day.
Winter here. I love winter here down here. Like it's not the winter that I got, but you guys got a great winter down here.
And the other thing that I don't think people, I didn't actually know until I saw them in Emerald Coast Bait and Tackle. And that's because one of mine got chewed up pretty good. But you also saw the replacement J hooks that are packaged up as well. So we
have them on our website, and the tackle shops do order them down here. I really think, you know what? I had a guy call me up. He's a local yokel where I live in Maryland. He goes, "Hey, I'm kind of copying your teaser hook."
Yeah.
And I said, look, I don't own anything on that.
Yeah.
Go for it, brother. You know, it's just,
and like
whatever. When I'm happy for him. And if it helps him, I'm happy for him.
And when LJ came out with the rain minnow and those teaser hooks, we were friends, but we weren't this close.
Yeah, you beat me in a freaking tournament in Maryland.
We don't need to bring that up. We don't need to bring that up. We don't need to
knock me out of third place, man.
So
in the CCA tournament.
So I would buy when he came. He posted on like Facebook or something in like back in like 2015 or 16 or something.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was like, hey, here's my new thing. And for me, I was fishing a certain plug or a certain iron, I guess, or lead off of the beach, off my boat, off of whatever that I caught a lot of fish on. But when Lonnie came out with his, I was like, because I fished GI jig heads for so long, I was like, hey, this is my thing. And I think the long story short, and I'm digressing a little bit, I ordered a bunch and Kayla ordered a bunch. And then Lonnie called and was like, "Hey, you guys both ordered them. Can I put them in the same box?" And I was like, "I didn't know she also ordered them."
Oh yeah.
But so
she did.
we burned through. I mean, especially and I think it was like middle of summer on the beach when we lived on the beach, and we caught like 10,000 ladyfish in 2 days, and we burned through that teaser material.
Yeah.
So, like we learned quick how to try to tie our own
plastic. I mean,
So we do, and it's funny because I've got a couple hooks in my hand here that
they got chewed.
Yeah, the teasers. I mean, you can tell a jig works well when the teaser's gone.
Yeah,
and that's my other one just has like a fuzz on the end of it.
That's exactly what happened to mine. We were like, ladyfish were on fire, and it was fun to cast, and clients were wearing them out. And then I'm looking at it and like, that's just a bare hook now. What happened to my teaser?
So we had a day where I ran out of teaser, and then I ran out of hook. Something bit the hook off and broke open the split ring. That was you changed the split ring.
I do.
You got heavy duty ones.
No, I do. Like I special order, like the 4-aught hooks have 65-pound special extra heavy duty split rings, and then the 2-aught hooks, if you order a 2-aught hook, it has a 45-pound. So they're not I don't know how heavier I can make them.
Yeah.
For a split ring, now I can get an 8-aught or something like that, but I need to put a big hook on that or a big lure on that.
Well, we caught a lot of fish, and we ended up losing the hook and kept casting just the rain minnow.
The rain minnow.
Kept catching ladyfish on just the rain minnow. Like we could still get them to jump, which was awesome. But we still like now. I keep a lot. So it's cool that you said Emerald Coast had a lot.
Yeah.
Bait baits and half also carry all those extra hooks.
100%.
Yeah.
But
and Yellowfin, they're carrying our stuff too.
Oh,
Yellowfin
really?
too down there in 38.
Yellowfin is on board.
Brian's hat.
Yeah, baby.
So we all know you for the rain minnow, and that's what
I
a lot of us use. But you know, right before the show, I was telling Brian, I was like, man, the jig heads, that's what we need to get. You know, some of those. And Brian's like, what? Wait a minute, they make jig heads? Like everyone goes just to that one section for the rain minnows, but your jig heads are great as well.
So, and I don't mean to interrupt
while you guys are talking. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. Like as a fisherman, I fished his jig heads long before you invented the rain minnow.
I did.
Yeah,
you did.
And I can go get one out of the other room.
I know because I know that paint job.
that big eye right there is what gets me on all of the jigs.
Everything about a GI jig is around the eye.
Do you have that? You have that? So look at this. Look at this one. Look at this one.
And
look at that thing.
That last jig head that you had up there that was all chartreuse, like that is, you're not going to get that eye in another jig head. That one, that is glitter. And it is so bright. On top of it, the paint is I know it's already fluorescent. It is enhanced with UV. And then we will turn our blues and our purples and all of those other colors. But white, oh my goodness. It goes off the charts when you, how do I explain this, Mark? Like you have a full sunny day. And then the lure goes down so far and it gets dark. And then that's UV is it can be a cloudy day and we're both kind of sunburned.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's an energy. It is an energy. And what happens is that energy from UV, white light and UV. And then it goes through the water column. It won't bend, it won't break, and it will hit our lures, our jig heads, and then it is all of a sudden visible more like maybe a glow bait. I can't say it glows because
are all the jig heads UV coated?
Yes, except for black.
Except for black. Okay.
Except for black. Black is anti-UV. And that the reason in that is that when you hold your hand up above your head in the sunlight and just say you got a black glove on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see that right away. And that is why it's black.
Gotcha. So just like your paint concepts, when you're talking about, you want that contrast in there. 100%. That black is one of the things, reason why that's not UV.
You know, I kind of think about it like I'm going to the carnival and I'm getting some cotton candy or you know some fun stuff. And then I'm out there eating.
You're getting a gallon,
some gallon of juice. But I kind of think of it that way. The contrast is, you know, that's how it goes. And then the other thing is like I don't know the refractive rate of the species that we catch down here.
Well, it's all of the species. So like we have down here, it's awesome because we have bottom fish, we have cobia, we have candy. Everything changes every couple
And so
weeks.
how are their eyes? So you have species that look down. You have species that like rockfish look up. And they don't feed down. They feed up. Our croakers feed down.
And red drum typically feed down.
Yes, 100%. Unless you do my blabbermouth.
Yeah, unless you catch them on a.
So you actually took into account when you were designing and the paint things and all that other stuff, the feeding habits of all those fish. Like it wasn't just, hey, I want a rain minnow and this is what I want to do. You're talking, okay, drum, whether it's red drum, black drum, croaker, anything in the drum family, whiting, they are all typically bottom feeder. They're swimming like this, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Looking and feeding this way. Where the rockfish, like you mentioned, they're looking for schools. So they're swimming looking up. The cobia, you know, they're swimming looking forward and up because they're looking for bait fish that they're heading into.
We catch cobia up here. We catch 50-pound bull reds up here in the Chesapeake Bay, and I'm down here in Destin.
Your bull reds are big.
Yeah, they're massive schools. But when you're in like out of where I live, okay? I live in Chesapeake Beach. If you look it up on a map, you're gonna go like, huh, that's weird. And you're in the middle of nowhere. And so I was working with another charter captain, Steve Griffin, up here in the bay, and he says, dude, can you make me a half ounce? I want a half ounce GI jig with the 8/0 extra heavy hook in it. And we're going to fish them on popping course. Now, tell your listeners, and you boys up there in Maryland better listen to me because I've been putting out some presentations at some tackle shops this year. And I've been telling y'all, like, it is a secret. Go find those pods of baits, okay? Get yourself, I like the pink, it doesn't matter the color. I like the pink blabbermouth popping cord. Put yourself on like an 18-inch, 24-inch leader. Use 65-pound leader. Don't mess around with it. And then put one of my half-ounce GI jigs with that heavy-duty black nickel hook on there. Yeah. This is it. This is a great color, too. Mark pulled it out. I had it sitting here.
I'm putting that in my pocket when he isn't looking.
Sorry,
by the way.
I don't know how I'm doing this camera thing. I'm sorry, guys, but my concept is simple. I don't want to find the fish. I want the fish to come to me. And what happens is,
look.
Oh, dude, that's the guy right there.
There you go. Blabbermouth popping course.
We were in Bay Baits this morning, grabbing a couple baits to go offshore, and Lonnie was like, "This is the jig. This is the one I use."
Yeah,
and I was like, "All right, let's
the popping cork. Right?
Throw that on the tap. Let's grab one of those."
Yeah, I grabbed it. I'm like, dude, you gotta have one of these things. Like, he only had like 4, and I said, dude, you gotta have one of these things. And the concept is simple: bring the fish to you. Don't find the fish. So, like we all know that. Well, I do. Like, there's bulls here. They're supposed to be here. Like, there's areas that are supposed to hold those big fish. And what you do is you go in, I sneak in there, I put my spotlight down, and I motor around, or I just ease it around with my engine, and then I just find bait, and then and I just splash that thing around. I make as much noise. It's musky fishing.
Yeah.
And I'm just creating all this business in the water, and watch out, because you will catch that trophy that day. And hopefully you got a buddy next to you.
Now I got to order some, because those big schools of bull reds are supposed to be in Pensacola Bay here soon. I know they're already out east in your area. So now I'm gonna have to go pick up some blabbermouths and half-ounce jig.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, if this was me
jig
out here fishing every day, I'd be thinking, like, we got some early birds, right?
Yeah,
we got some early birds.
That's the favorite. That's our favorite thing, I think. And I don't mean to, again, speak for you, but the coolest thing for us is when people send us a picture, they call us and they're like, "Hey, we had this on the end of this." Yeah. And it works.
It's so simple.
Yeah. That's the coolest part. And I think that's why you guys do this whole thing too, is to talk, is to show people, like, hey, what's actually working. And I think
absolutely.
Tell them. Break the ice, I guess. And all right. So what plastic do I put on this? I put a paddle tail on it, a 5-inch paddle tail. Now, up my way, when those big bulls are in, we got Spanish mackerel, we got bluefish. And if you put a plastisol bait on there, it's going to rip it off. And they're like, oh.
Yeah. Now you're going through baits.
You're going to go through them. If you put a Z-Man on there, like, just put a little glue on a mating surface. Oh,
yeah. There you go. Yeah.
I spec that out for Z-Man. So if you're using a 5-inch diesel minnow, which is what I'm using, it's going to fit up there. It's going to look so natural. Put a little crazy glue or
blue Loctite.
Yeah. Loctite. I can't talk.
Nice.
But put that on there. It'll last you the whole season. And then you just have a box of those different colors with different jig heads on there. And then you just take one off, put another one on, go out there again.
And I don't mean to hijack your questions, because I know we're talking a lot, but
too much.
I personally, and a lot of guys give me a lot of crap for this, but I like to run like a speed clip or like a tactical angler.
Oh yeah, those tactical anglers.
So for you,
my goodness,
for the lighter tackle, jig head, or rain minnow type fishing, changing colors and all that stuff, I noticed today you were cutting and retying, and yesterday more often. For me, on the other hand, I like to run a clip more, because I think a lot of our bites are reaction based. So you're ripping something back.
Yeah, fast. It's different here.
What do you think?
It's different here. Sometimes in the Chesapeake Bay, we have the Spanish mackerel won't hit it unless it's 20-pound fluoro. If you put 30-pound fluoro on there, not going to look at it. And so I found that, like, I love the tactical angler clips. They are fantastic. Best kept secret in America. And I know Alberto, and I've talked to Alberto. Like, yeah, we know each other. But
Crazy Alberto?
Yeah, that's right. And he put together a really great clip. And I use them, especially on my jerk baits and my top waters. And then I'll put them on my jigs. Because what happens is I'm talking striper fishing, and that's different than what you guys do here. But all right, I listen to you guys. You can listen to me.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, like, I'll put those clips on, and then everybody in my boat has a different jig head color and a different plastic, and then we're just jigging. And then when it gets serious and we want to get the good one, then what I will do. I'll pop off that clip and I'll tie it on by hand with the fluorocarbon. Yeah. Because those big rockfish didn't get.
They don't get big by.
Yeah, they don't get big for no reason.
Yeah,
they're smart.
Great eyesight too.
Yeah.
All right, now Alberto, he fishes in New England. Okay, and he's throwing off of the surf and stuff. and it's different. But in the Bay, just kind of think that way.
Yeah.
Where if you get into a technical thing where you want to win the rodeo, you would want to think that kind of way and then put your presentation out that direction.
Awesome. Tony, appreciate it, buddy. We got Capt LJ here with GI Jigs. If y'all have questions, we only got a couple more minutes and then we're going to kick it down. We're hitting our hour mark. That's how fast time goes.
5 hours.
As we go, but we still got more stuff to go through in our scroll and all that good stuff. So
you guys know me well enough that if we get together, we're going to talk for a long time.
That's why we told the other contributors tonight. We're like, look, we got a special guest coming on tonight. We're not going to do any other reports. We're going to dedicate the show to LJ here and the GI Jigs and how.
I just want to help people to catch fish. And I just want folks to think outside of the box. I just want, and not think outside of the box, but just be successful.
And LJ inspired me a lot, and not to get weird, especially because we're recording this.
You're about to make it weird, man.
I'm gonna make this weird, but
yeah. When you start a comment that way, it goes weird.
Get closer, buddy. No, like when I got down here, like a lot of people are set in their ways. They fish the way their dads did and their dads did. And when I got down here, it was kind of you should drop a cigar minnow on a 8-ounce sinker to the bottom on a 50 wide. And I'm exaggerating. Like
but
like on a TLD or a Penn Senator, drop it down and catch a red snapper and go home. And I was like, well, wait a second. If you know the snappers are here, why don't you try to drop down like a jig head with a Z-Man or like a rain, like then you didn't have rain minnows at the time, but just
like a top bottom rig.
Yeah, I mean, like just something different. Just have some fun. And people got on my boat and they were like, hey, or I'm sorry, I got on people's boats and they were like, hey, leave your little toy rod on the car. Or like I'm doing that. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, let's just have some fun. And today, that was the thing for me, because as a charter captain, especially during the rodeo, you get in that mindset of like, hey, we need to go do this. We need to drop a live threadfin herring to go do this. We need to put a stinger rig on for a king. We need to do this and this. And LJ's like, hey, let's throw this plastic out there.
Yeah.
I did.
And I'm like, well, shit. That's the way that's what I like to do.
Retying, like just throwing different stuff out there.
Yeah.
And the coolest part is like we get all kinds of weird stuff. You figure stuff out, but that's one thing we appreciate about this show so much, and the two of you guys to share this with people and save a lot of time on, hey, we did this weird thing and it worked, and you guys are showing that and you're helping people understand that. And like even this, like Lonnie made this. This is a rain minnow, right?
Yeah.
But this is the teaser.
Has it got another one? Has it got another one behind it?
This is the teaser hook that we were throwing.
Like an eel. You're throwing it like an eel almost. Yeah. That's crazy.
The computer just died.
That's like
Are you guys still there?
Yeah. No, we left.
Can you see us?
The computer died. Can you still hear us?
Yeah. You guys are still on.
You're still here, guys. I don't know where you think you are. We see you.
Can you see us still?
Yeah, and you're moving normal, so
I think the computer.
All right, we'll bring them down. Brian, you still on? There you go. Yeah. There you go.
I'm here.
There we go. All right. Yeah, it looks like their computer died.
Oh well.
Well,
it was good having you guys on. If you can hear us, it was good having you.
Do y'all sell gift card charter trips for Christmas? That's a good question, Tony. I don't know. We don't. Smitty's doesn't, but I'm sure there are some folks, and Brian doesn't either. So there are some folks out there that probably do. But anyway, so great conversation with Lonnie. As you can tell, there's a lot more that goes into a jig design than just saying, hey, I want to make a jig and do it. Like taking in the feeding habits of the fish and everything else. I mean, there's a lot that goes behind there, and it was awesome to be able to have him on and
I mean,
get their perspective.
A lot of the fun stuff too with that. I mean, throwing lures in the surf or throwing lures from a boat, any of that stuff, hell, even out in the water. I mean, it's a fun game, and you can do so many different things with it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of his, you can fast retrieve it. I've done that in the surf. It works great for Spanish and blues. You've got, you can slow pitch it. Jack proved that one time out with you.
Yep.
They're completely universal. And then adding in these other pieces that they have on the webpage. I mean, there was so many more things that I'm like, man, I feel like an idiot that I didn't scroll through, but I like the parachutes.
Yeah.
This is just an excellent ad. I mean, hell, we could tie him this way off his jigs heads. Obviously, we could see that. But I mean, adding these pieces, it's no different than what we've other times we've talked about of throwing a paddle tail on the back of a or whatever, or a bill rig. A top water.
That's what I was going to be.
Yep.
That's what I was going to bring up. The bill rig. That's another one that's like, man, who'd have thought to do that?
I think it's just all of you that have watched this show. I know you've tried stuff. I mean, you've seen Brad was commenting earlier, though he threw it out there for shits and giggles with throwing bacon in the surf, but on the same one, though it's comical, it worked. The same things. You got to try something different, because if you've come up with some new tip trick that works for you, who knows, it might work for someone else, or it's just the thing to do constantly. Fishing's an evolving sport. It's always changing. And with all our season changes, every bit of your fishing changes. So don't be scared to try some new stuff. And hell, I mean, we've got a bunch tonight for you to try out. I got a lot.
Yeah, I'm definitely so the blabbermouth corks.
Yeah, I
we'll
like
give
that.
them a shot. They look real short with that fat mouth on the cork. So and then I wouldn't have thought to put a half-ounce jig head or a half-ounce jig, GI jig, underneath it. That's pretty smart. I'll have to try that in the bay, and we'll let Lonnie know how that works. And the jig heads, that's something I wanted to hit on with LJ stuff is, like, everyone knows for the rain minnows down here, but those jig heads were actually worked with and designed for the Z-Man products. And he mentioned it real quick before they went off air, that the Z-Man diesel minnow fits perfectly behind that jig head. So you put a little drop of glue back there to keep it nice and tight, secure back it's a perfect combo, a perfect setup. So those were designed specifically that way. I know Emerald Coast Bait and Tackle. Actually, I don't think they did. Yeah, they did. They had the jig heads. I don't know if Half Hitch is carrying the jig heads yet or not. It's something we need to
believe so.
bring up to Tim and Amber.
See, might have to just go tomorrow. I mean, it's been a while since I went.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Because I mean that's a perfect pair, especially now inshore. When those big rids are going to start coming through and you're going to be throwing some big swim baits. If you want to do something different than just dropping a chunk down, we do at Yellowfin. Okay, so I'm drawing a blank. Pemberton, right? Is it
James? Wait, so Frisky?
Peterson, Brad, out of Yellowfin. Brett. There you go. I was drawing a blank. I'm like, Brett.
Frisky?
Sorry, Brett.
When did James
No. Out there at Yellowfin Sports. So they carry the jig heads out there.
Yeah.
So and that's one of those things that, again, if we could go a whole episode and an overrun long time, but that eye is what makes those jig heads. If you know about the jig heads and coming from freshwater fishing and then making the transition over to saltwater and stuff like that, that's really what keys those predator fish in on that jig head. Is how that eye is set up and designed. And that's, if you saw them on there, the bigger jig heads, that was well over 7/8 of the jig head was an eye.
Yeah. I mean, we all know the shine. We've talked about it when we talked about throwing lures. Dirty water, you want a certain color. Clear water, you want a certain color. You're trying to get attention with noise, movement, sound, sight, smell, all of it. I mean, that the rigs put it together, and they're great products. So.
Yep, absolutely.
Want to get into the scrollage?
Let's jump in. I don't know how much I have of a scroll, but let's jump this in real quick. Close that. Man, my audio keeps going up and down.
I'm receiving it clear. So.
All right. Let's see. Present. Share screen. Come on now. Chrome. Facebook. Here we go. All right. So as we mentioned, what was that? the pier, Okaloosa Pier, was on fire with kings. I mean, yesterday, the last 2 days, really, they have just been tearing them up out there. So it's good to see a good king bite coming through. Again, this weather pushing these fish through here. It's good to see. Which one was this? Oh, Brian Curlett, our buddy, is over on the East Coast there doing some red drum fishing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that right there.
Brian killed it. Him and Chantel.
Brian and Chantel both, man, just crushing it over there.
New cart.
Brian's cool cart set up, and yeah, a lot of conventionals. You know, that's the thing over there on the East Coast.
He'll run, but he's got spinners and he's got backups.
Oh yeah,
he said some pretty cool stuff to me at the tournament. It got me thinking.
Yeah, and then like we said, good sheephead bite going on. This here Bud Pope, man, he always. I guarantee they weren't in the Yellow River. Just saying. And he did not catch him on cut squid.
The squid was the same thing you and I both said.
I know. Like, he did not catch him on cut squid, and they weren't at the Yellow River. But Bud is always posting some hellacious catches, and his comments are pretty hilarious too. It's funny to see people get fired up over those things. But that's all I had. I just had 3 little ones.
Yeah, I got you covered.
For here.
All right. Do it individually here. Average Joes love this group.
Oh yeah.
The sheepies, 1 from land and 2 from the yak. So now the bites
Nice.
getting on, y'all. It's time.
Yeah.
Plenty to get on. I can't wait to get to his picture. That was a cool one. I got that saved. Panhandle surf fishing. Oh, a little favorite group. Oh, Alex Babini getting after it here recently. There's this today. Little bonnet head. Hey there, Spadey Spade. Little pump. Got some whiting. Got the good stack. And hey, what's that? Nice.
Redfish.
After it there. Alex has been having some good ones. We recently had a nice trip guest from the old East Coast.
Oh yeah, Paul
came down. And Charles, that's right, Charles was there. They caught some decent fish. They had a good time. They hung out here in our spots on the National Seashore. And when Paul comes down, he has a lot of fun. He always gets after it. So it's always good to see him. Oh, that's right. He did have the blues.
Yeah, Blue Angels came through.
That water. That's like so much extra challenging right there. But I was glad to have. It was good to see him. It was good to have a good time out there. We all know this little picture here because it's the damn truth. Pull and drag, no clue, but hey, it's what we do. So get out there and fish, man.
Absolutely,
you got it. Now this kid, oh dude, I'm so psyched for him. I don't know where it was, but the smile says it all to me.
Oh yeah,
because that is. I mean, that's why we always. That's what we're always hoping for, right there. Just out there catching it, and he is just overjoyed. It's good stuff. So great catch.
Heck yeah.
Great job. Yeah, bask in that glory. That was well fought, well earned. I can't stop sniffling. What the hell? Couple flounders.
Yeah, was that Joe? I thought. Yeah,
that was Jared.
Jared, okay.
Yeah, haven't seen him post much. I've seen a couple, but not too many times. I've seen a few of his, but Flounder's been popping up there. What?
This guy said saw a Demo decal in Virginia.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nationwide.
World famous.
That's right. World famous. Is that another bonefish?
Alabama's got him now.
Nice.
So they're still here, which I still don't understand, but it's not my way to. Hey, Larry, this guy, because I mean, I'm not sure about him. I don't know if I could trust his ridiculous skills. Friggin' monster. Where to go, Larry? Larry was getting on him. I think I haven't seen a post from him yet, but I haven't scrolled. But it wouldn't shock me if he did get his 6-pack. And Larry likes to catch the big ones, and that's a great pomp right there.
Yeah, that's a nice one. That's why he couldn't. He's like, I'm not gonna make the show, but here's why.
Speaking of education, Gulf Coast slow jigging. I love this group, even though I'm not I don't know slow pitch yet. Ryan is one of the few people that introduced me to it, and I kind of watched him, and he's always killing it. But I mean, look at this crap, dude.
Yeah, he's always posting. I mean, he's the reason Jack started getting into wanting to slow pitch and stuff. Seeing some of the pitchers and stuff between him and Mark and those guys that that's what they do when they go out there. It's just dropping those jigs and light tackle, and man, that's a good site to follow.
All the information is out there for you to look at. So go take a look. And then this guy.
Yeah, this guy.
This friggin' guy. I swear. MU Sean.
He was supposed to be on the show tonight, but we bumped because of getting LJ on here. But yeah, and we pulled him off the water, and we felt bad because he stopped fishing to come in and was evidently on a good sheephead bite. So sorry, buddy.
There was something else that I had, but that's what it was. So we were talking. I kind of want to bring this up. We were talking about. Look at this. Granted, it's off the top.
Yeah.
Big eye, big pieces. Think of that flowing back. That hair is kind of restricted upwards. So as you pull, it's going to do the pull and back out, pull and back out.
Pulsing.
Parachute. So that's going to be something great there. But if you head over to GI Jigs, go to the online store section. It doesn't let me. That's right. And you go to the main here. Yeah, you're going to have the jig heads. We got lots of stuff there. And then the rain minnows we have talked about so many times. You can pick these up in the shop. You can use the PFR code. Get yourself set up a little bit of a discount. We also have them local. Got them in a half hitch, Emerald Coast Bait and Tackle, Yellowfin, Bay Breeze. I don't know if Gulf Breeze Bait and Tackle does yet. I haven't been up there in a while. Was it No, it wasn't the nickel. What the heck was it?
And the one thing that we learned tonight is all of those jigs, jig heads, and everything except for black are all UV painted. So you wonder why they work so well when they get down in that deeper, a little bit of the water column. That UV light penetrates down there, and that's what that silhouette, that offset that Captain LJ was talking about. That's the reason why. It's amazing. Yeah. Try them all. There you go, Richard.
You can't. How many things do you have in your tackle box that have been sitting there for years staring at you, and yet you're going to throw the same damn thing tomorrow?
That's right.
Try something new. It ain't going to kill you. But it's been a fun hell, it's been an hour and 17. Appreciate y'all being here. I know it's been a flux, but hey, we love you guys. It's a lot of fun that we get to do this, and so we're thankful that you're here every week because, hey, this isn't we can't do this without you.
Absolutely. So don't forget, on that note, share, send it out. Make sure if you guys are enjoying it, I'm sure someone else would, and some of your friends probably would too. So please share us out and help us build that audience as we grow. We're coming up on a year that we've been doing this, and it's been crazy that we've been going at it that long, and that's all thanks to you guys. If you guys weren't tuning in every week, then we probably wouldn't do it, or Brian and I would do it just to see ourselves talking on here. That's probably what we would do. But appreciate everybody. Until next week, y'all get out there, catch some fish. Don't forget to tag us. We'd love to see it. We'll see y'all next Friday night. Later.